Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hangout Show. Today we have the cat that uses funny faces to kill gods and goddesses. Yarny.
Hello.
Hi, Yarny. Thanks for coming up, being gaslighted to come out to the show.
Gas.
Yeah.
Gaslight. That's what's on top of my head.
Oh yes. Well, I guess there's no helping with that. I appreciate you say yes to come up. I'm just like, yeah, this is a very interesting VTuber that beats the game with her face. It's like my friend's like, oh, you should interview her. Like, oh yeah, let's do that. Just instantly message her. Hey, what's up? Would you like to be interviewed?
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, I was like, I just also show up on your streams like, hey, what's up? It's like, okay. It's like, oh my god, this guy's on my stream now. But yeah,
Hi.
I do appreciate you accepting the invitation. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you are so far you are one of the people that have beaten Elden Ring in a very special way. I see many different ways people beat Elden Ring. I saw people use goldfish to beat beat some of the bosses using potato, Dance Dance Revolution. You use your face.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to like do something like that. Like but like how do you turn bananas into a controller? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know programming, how does it work?
That's witchcraft.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, but it's very impressive. I assume what you use is well, as far as I can tell that I researched a little bit, you used the iPhone face capturing software for that, correct?
Yeah, so a pretty common thing for really high quality facial tracking is the ARKit tracking. It's 52 blend shapes, so 52 different shapes on the face I was looking for. It's only iPhones have it. It's technically a security technology.
Damn, me being an Android user here just being dusted. So, sorry, we try it. So this is a little bit too formal. Let's go a little bit off the rail a bit. So, what inspired you to like just like, oh, I'm gonna use my face to be Milena because she keeps telling me that's her name.
I mean, I wanted to do some sort of crazy controller, but I didn't know how. And then one day, I was looking at my software that I use for my model, Vinion, and I noticed that it could do stuff based on the numerical value of those different blend shapes. So if, say, smile right, like this, the right side of my face is smiling, I can trigger something else. I was like, okay, can I make a controller out of that? Can this program press buttons? And the answer is no, it can't. So I had to find other ways to add on to that. So what Vinion can do is then can send a WebSocket message, which is just like an internet message to another program. So I then had to find a bot that would work, that could accept those WebSocket messages and then do something based on them. So basically then StreamerBot, which is what I use, then takes that message and presses a button on the keyboard.
So basically you have to go through. You basically have to go through a bunch of stuff just to see how things works by using this face tracking. Then you basically using the face tracking to send the signal through the bot, then to the game. Then the game reacts. So does that would that make that a little bit delay, or it's still as good as a controller?
I was worried that it would have a lot of input delay, because none of this stuff was made to make controllers out of.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know how fast these WebSockets would
Like
communicate with the
how
other
fast?
programs. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but honestly, it works. The delay is about what you would expect with like a wireless controller.
Oh, so
Surprisingly,
as the great Todd Howard once said, it just works.
it just works.
It's like, good grief. I was thinking, does that does it? Because I'm curious, just out of my curiosity, that does that make? Oh, sorry, I think I just accidentally did something with your square. My bad. Give me a sec.
Woo!
Yay! What have I done? There we go. That's better. Sorry about that. Does that give you? I'm not saying it would. Doesn't that like, because you have to constantly switch expressions for like dodge, block, parry, attack. Has it ever happened that your face like crank?
Oh, absolutely. In the beginning, like, so the dodge rolling was linked to my eyebrows going up.
Oh no.
So rapidly raising your eyebrows just for hours. My eyebrows would get so sore, so tired. Like, fighting for like 30 minutes on a boss fight. It would become progressively harder and harder because my eyebrows just
It becomes
more
more
and
of a
more difficult.
physical thing, I believe, instead of a mental thing.
Absolutely.
Oh god. Well, at least you don't skip a face day. God, I'm
Certainly wasn't.
God, I'm horrible at these jokes. I'm sorry. But yeah, I assume you got used to it eventually, or else you wouldn't be doing all these crazier challenges. Like, oh, no dodge, no roll, no block, just jump with my face.
Yeah, so it was two things to learn. It was, one, training those muscles
Mm-hmm.
that aren't meant for using as a controller, that aren't really used to precise controls, and then also just rewiring my brain
Jump.
to
Jump.
automatically associate different face movements, like moving my mouth left
Mhm.
and right to move left and right, blinking to jump, or sticking my tongue out to attack. Just like linking all of those
That's
to the
what's-
actions.
that.
Took-
Sorry.
I mean, it's still, even having beaten both the base game and the
Mhm.
DLC,
with your
it's
face.
still an ongoing process.
Goodness. Wouldn't that affect you streaming of it, since you do have to like talk? Wouldn't, like, in the middle of a combat you just accidentally like look right or say something, or the wrong expression comes out? It's like, oh no, I have screwed up.
Oh yeah, that would happen all the time.
You become so expressive that you realize, oh no, I can't be expressive while talking.
No, so like all the directional movement
Mm-hmm.
was linked to my mouth, so
Mm.
Like- moving my mouth to the right or to the left to move left and right, or
Mhm.
pucker to go forward.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible to talk properly. I can kind of, but it doesn't really work, and if I do, it messes with the tracking.
Yeah. I can see that from just looking at looking at you at the moment. But I would say you would be quite expressive as a VTuber now because your muscles has been trained to the parts like yes, there's no problem expressing myself with this model anymore. It's like what?
Strongest face on Twitch.
I can break your carrot with my face. But yeah, that was quite impressive. I saw your videos like, oh my god, that is amazing. Because people do it with like Guitar Hero and all that. There are Guitar Hero controllers. Those are still controllers. Like even with the potato, yes, it is a controller. You have buttons and all that. You have to do like, as you say, eyebrows, mouth, eyes, face, and it's like, oh god.
Oh yeah, it's like going from using hands for one controller to another controller. You're using your hands.
Mhm.
You've got all of this built up muscle memory. It's like, okay, press button. That's just
That's just a
kinda-
basic thing.
yeah, but raising your eyebrows, coordinating multiple face movements simultaneously. It's like moving my mouth right, eyebrows up to dodge roll right. That was something I had to entirely rewrite my brain for.
And I have to ask jokingly, is that have you accidentally made the Giga Chat expression while playing the game?
Probably.
Because it sounds like a
I
pretty,
wasn't looking.
because it sounds like a quite a good possibility because just one eyebrow up and the smile to one side is just looking smoldering.
We were joking that I created a new form of looks maxing.
Yeah, it also quite impressive and also quite nice of you to willing to share with everybody to, well, share your achievement and quote unquote pain.
Yeah, and I put everything out. All the stuff that I made to do it. It's just I put it out there for free.
Yeah, that's good. Appreciate that.
Anyone
I
who
can
wants
see
to
my
try
friends with iPhones suffer a little bit more these days. I heard you have this technology. Show me. But yeah, it's something that I never thought it's possible because I getting my butt kicked even with a controller already. Is like imagining you going through this the whole stream. I remember your streams usually go longer than 3 hours, correct?
Yeah, usually about 4 hours.
That's quite a workout, actually.
Yeah. Luckily, the boss fights didn't take me too long in the beginning. It's like maybe 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I mean, without what you call that, without the limitations you give yourself later. Recently, I saw you you finished no dodge, no block challenge. That was interesting. I watched during work. I'm like, that was something else. What
That
kind
was a learning experience.
what is the challenge right now you're on?
It's not too much of a challenge. I say that, basically I gave myself the Sekiro deflect here permanently with a mod.
Okay.
And then I'm also doing it level 1.
Oh yeah, I
So
saw
it's
you
not
were
too,
fighting.
You don't want to be too easy.
Too easy, she said. Oh my god, how I admit it's a game that it's supposed to challenge you. I mean, good players like you have brought it to another level in many different ways. First of all, great job.
I do my best.
Great job. Like now it's like you show everybody the sky is the limit, maybe a little bit more, honestly. Next time maybe someone would just use the temperature of their face eventually. We have the technology. But yeah, that like Sekiro, I saw. Now I remember what you did. I saw you were fighting Melina, level 1.
Yeah, I was trying to focus on deflects, but like, she also heals Every time she hits you, even if it does no damage.
Oh yeah, that like because God, why she's like why she's like that? Why? Miyazaki, what hurt you? Who hurt you? But yeah, but you cannot be hit, right? If I remember correctly, because you don't have enough health to survive even one slash.
No, pretty much any hit would kill me. Unless I mistimed a block.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting the deflect, it's just a normal block,
Oh.
which still blocks some of the damage. A pretty decent amount. I think like 65%, like 55% on the katana. So sometimes that would be enough to survive,
Sometimes.
but everything else would kill me.
How do you? Yes. How do you deal with the water dance? I forgot the full name. Sorry.
So the waterfall dance.
Yes.
So the Sekiro tier definitely made that a lot easier.
Really?
So if it happens point blank, it's really difficult to avoid any damage.
Mm-hmm.
There are techniques such as the circle technique, where you run towards her and circle strafe around to the left at just the right speed, and then right as she's about to start slicing, you dodge roll, and that messes with her tracking. She'll fly off away from you, so you avoid damage.
Oh.
And then the second volley is coming towards you. You just dodge into it, and she'll overshoot, go past you. And then the second one, you can just walk towards her, locked on. Right as she's passing through you, you start walking backwards, and you're fine.
Well,
But with
easier said
the
than done. I only saw the only few people I saw can do that constantly is let me solo her and and players like you.
So Let Me Soloer usually just uses the frost pass to cancel it.
Yeah, but sometimes he does the thing you said. It was pretty cool too.
It's fun to do, but it's really tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But with the deflecting, I can just sit in her face, deflect that entire first volley, and the second wave comes, just dodge into her. So it just takes care of like the hardest part of it,
Fair.
which is really nice.
That
She
was
does heal a little bit.
Yeah, that
So-
that move is her most deadliest towards me at least. He's like, oh no, she's dancing. Well, I'm dead. So I basically was like, okay, if I can't fight her alone, I'll bring my boys with me and just maul on her. I'm a filthy mage build, so there's not much I can do about her.
Yeah, and waterfowls. She really likes to do a waterfowl. She has a really high percent
It's a cool ass
chance
move.
to do
yeah.
one after you cast any spell.
Yeah, it's a cool move. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, why is it why is she spamming it?
Because you're casting magic.
Yeah, he's like, let me cast one spell. Well, magics are quite damaging in these games, so.
But yeah, before I did the face controller run, I went through the game at level 1,
Mm-hmm.
beat the game that way, did most of the game at level 1 with no weapon upgrades. So I had some practice before I started the face controller run. So I knew what to do.
That's still kind
It
of a
was
flex. It's like, I did it with for one level, no weapon upgrade. I'm just gonna run through this and kill everybody, while me have to level up to 200 to over level just to compensate a little bit. That is
Yeah,
true
so, like,
skill.
I knew what to do. It was just getting my face to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You know the moves. It's just try to use your face to execute the moves. It's the difficult part, I assume.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, I haven't asked, like, how many Souls-like game you have played, or this is your first?
So I started with Dark Souls 1 like 2.5 years ago.
Mm.
And now look at me.
Look at you, killing gods with your face. But yeah, Dark Souls does have a slower roll compared to Elden Ring. Elden Ring, I would say, is the middle part, because the faster one, personally, I think, is Bloodborne. I'm not sure is it true or not.
I mean, I feel like they have similar speeds.
Maybe
It's
just the
just
animation.
Bloodborne kind of rewards more that just get in there and attack.
Leroy Jenkins. That's pretty much.
It rewards a more aggressive playstyle.
It definitely does. It's more of a aggress attack than try your best to dodge or parry.
But it's like once you get to like the DLC in Bloodborne, the speed is really similar, I feel, to Elden Ring.
Okay.
But before that, the bosses are definitely slower.
They're also they have a bigger windup too sometimes. Elden Ring's boss are depends, like it really depends. God, I forgot. I remember my first boss, not the rider, but the beastmen inside the cave have scared me so much. I'm so sorry. PTSD, I just flay up a bit. So to be able to do so, I assume practice. Obviously, all these kind of game requires practice and just getting used to the moves and everything. Would you say it's harder to get, even though yes, you said you kind of know what you're doing, but would it be a little bit harder with your face, because it is, until you get it like a reflex, it's more like, because you don't just do hand, like finger movement, it's like constantly quickly from one expression to another. Does that does that cause a little bit extra frustrations?
Oh, it definitely did. Like that plus there were some bugs in the beginning, so like directions would get stuck. So like I wouldn't be making any face, but I would still be moving forward.
Oh, it's most of like, so possibly misreading or just something else.
Yeah, so like it would get stuck, and I would have to like in the beginning I would have to physically press the button on the keyboard to reset it.
Okay.
But later iterations of the controller, I just could make the face again to reset it. And then the final...
You have a reset expression now.
Yeah.
Like, why
final
not?
design didn't have that problem at all.
Well, that's cool. So how many iterations have you been through to get to the current, like, the most, the most usable one for you?
It's hard to say. It was a lot of just tweaking. Like, okay, me doing that face isn't doing what I want consistently. So let's make it a little bit more sensitive, or maybe that's a bit too sensitive. So let's turn that number down. But it was more little tweaks and changes. The biggest jump was when the developer of the program that I use, Vignon, I actually got her to incorporate the key presses into the program itself, so I could just cut out entirely one whole program.
So
that just made everything just perfect. No more of those bugs or anything.
So trial and error, and a little bit it's just a little bit tweaking overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I went to research about like face tracking, how it works on Apple and to see why you would use it, then I realized, oh yeah, Apple has definitely a better track record. I look at even the Nvidia one, is like, okay, more or less has like nothing, how do you say this, has nothing on Apple, because I think Apple is actually tracking your face, and what we have with Nvidia or this stuff is just your jaw line, your mouth and eyes and eyebrow a little bit, not as good as Apple. So I assume that's probably the reason you use it. And have you tried other software before, like as an experiment, or you just like Apple is the way to go?
There's just really nothing else available that can do the similar accuracy.
Damn.
So what it does is the front camera on iPhone 10 and newer, it shoots out a bunch of IR dots onto your face and then measures how those how your face moves based on those dots. So it can see depth, it can see really tiny details because of that. And because of that, it's like the industry standard up until you get to like $1 million motion capture.
Yes, and those things are not exactly affordable for anybody else besides big studios, and we are not big studios.
I mean, even the big studios often just use
rent
iPhones.
It out. Yeah, or just rent it out. iPhone is really good. Jesus.
Yeah, they have just nobody has bothered.
Yeah.
They have their proprietary technology that was developed, and nobody wants to spend the money.
It is
to
expensive.
Make something similar.
Yeah, it is kind of expensive for for other companies, and oh dang it! Ooh, that was close. Actually, it disappeared for a second. Is it so this one you're using, is it a particular iPhone model, or it's like has to be a certain model after like, you know, the like certain number?
So iPhone 10 is the first model that has this particular face tracking. And then really I just got the cheapest one I could find.
That is fair. Also, I don't use iPhone, so anybody if anybody in the comments says, "Oh, it's only the iPhone 10, you idiots," like, I use Android. I'm a poor little guy.
Yeah, the developer of the software that I use for my model, Vinyan, also created an Android app for face tracking. Meow Face.
Meow Face?
Yeah, it's not as good as iPhone tracking, but it's a pretty decent alternative if you only have Android. Because it does the 52 blend shape tracking. It's just not as accurate.
That's fair. Also, Android cameras are not as good as the one on the iPhones. Sometimes, because not all Androids made equally, but all iPhones are made by the same quality because it's from the same company.
Yeah, and also the security stuff that makes the face tracking work. It's all the same for every model.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe I'll just maybe I should go find an old iPhone 10 and give it a try.
Yeah, you can get them for like under 200 now.
Oh, really? Well, that would be useful. Because I'm getting a new model. Hopefully, it can be more. You know, if it tracks better, I can so I don't have to constantly have this you know, half open eyes issue. And my mouth constantly open for some reason, even though I closes it. Even on my tracker, it shows it's closing, but it's also always open. What is wrong with you?
You know, sometimes those are things you can tweak on the model itself or your
Yeah, I need
end program.
I need to pay more attention to these things to actually be a good VTuber instead of just complaining about it. But I'm such a lazy son of a gun. But yeah,
Also, do you wear glasses?
I do, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's gonna interfere with like. That's gonna make it look like you're. It's gonna see as your eyes is closed sometimes
Yeah, it's like,
when they're not.
I have a sad news for you, Yarny. It was kind of my request that my eyes look sleepy already.
Oh.
But the problem is the tracking devices things like because first of all I'm actually Asian, so my eyes are actually doesn't look like it's open to some cameras. I have to like force them open to even look good. Next time I'm gonna say like, okay, draw my eyes very open, so even half closed, it's good.
I mean, you could probably tweak some settings.
Yeah. I'm experimenting a bit lately, so it looks better lately. It's because before it's always like, hey, what's up? My eyes are closed, but I'm open. I can see stuff. Yeah. I mean, it is also because I am lazy. Until now. That is an unfortunate truth. I do not have what you have. Just like, okay, I'm gonna practice and do what this and that. Like you put in a lot of effort into this like this face tracking controller thing and to make it work and do it all by yourself and research. I admire that. Like
because like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
When I was starting this, I was like, okay, surely someone's used this for this. Someone's had to have done this before. But no, I couldn't find anything. So I had to just kind of find what I could
trying to figure it out.
Use to make things work.
I would say you're doing great. You did a great job. I have to say, it's wonderful watching you just do this. and beating the crap out of Radon, Melania, and everyone else.
Yeah, cause like I had to use 3 different programs to do everything I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some of the things. It's like some buttons won't work in like Elden Ring if you're just rapidly pressing them, because that's how essentially. These programs would see like, okay, so you're doing mouth right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's press D repeatedly, because that's all those programs could do.
Mm-hmm.
But in Elden Ring, if you just press like the directions rapidly, you won't move. You'll just like kind of twitch a little bit. Because you have to build up some momentum. So I had to find another program that could toggle keys like that on and off. So I used auto hotkey. So it's one program sending a signal to another program that presses a button that then another program sees and toggles another button as being held down that the game then sees as an action.
This is a daisy chain situation we're looking at, aren't we?
Yeah, which is why a lot of things broke.
I mean, yeah, daisy chain is always one of those things like, don't do it or else it'll break. It's like, well, this is the only way it works. But yeah, I would say you did a fantastic job by creating this. Like, if it's not like any copyright laws, I would say this is quite you can probably have a pattern for this. Like, it's not just a fun way to play. It's also, I know this is not a topic that a lot of people like to talk about. It has been talked before, but it's more like accessibility for people that, you know, can't really use their hands or something else. This is like a great thing.
Oh, absolutely. So when I first beat the base game with the face controller. I was posting about it a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like on Reddit and stuff. And someone messaged me, said they were asking, please tell me how you did this. My girlfriend, she has severe arthritis in her
Oh.
hands, can't play games with me, and I would love to be able to play Elden Ring with her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Ah, I yeah, it was so sweet. I was like, this was just like some stupid thing I decided one day,
Mm-hmm.
and like I could like help people. That blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't thought of it until I started researching. It's like, oh wait, this is kind of a very good thing for accessibility, because people are like, oh, people can't play games because they have their limbs are not working very well. It's like, and the technology otherwise, like, only eyes doesn't help, and but sometimes the face can move just fine, and just like, yeah, that works, and if a little bit tweaking the head movement would help too sometimes. I don't know how this works, so I'm just saying, with people that know what they're doing, they can help a lot of people to able to play games instead of just watching other people play.
Oh yeah.
So I would say you did quite a good thing for everybody. Like for everybody that likes to play game, it's a thing that just positive in general, I would say.
Yeah, and I was just trying to be silly. It's like,
Well,
what if I played with my facial expressions?
What happened if I bash my face very hard against the gods? They will die.
Because I'm insane and wanted to challenge myself. I maybe helped somebody. That's crazy to me.
Oh yeah, it's pretty impressive. Also, silliness gives, happiness to people, which is good, because they always says happiness and laughter is a good thing to keep you healthy. And watching someone using their face to beat a game is quite interesting and quite laugh driven.
Yeah, I'm making very exaggerated faces, just like,
Yeah, I can dodge this. That is wonderful. That's something that I never thought of, as I said, until research. I agree. As as a member of the gaming community, I thank you, because you give us a better name. You have helped all of us, and I hope.
I'm just a cat.
You're just a cat with fire on your head, and beat the crap out of gods that don't know how to rule the universe. Thumbs
Someone's
up.
gotta do it.
Someone has to do it. Might as well be you. Yeah, and looks like it's time for today. I appreciate you coming up, and since this is the first time, it's a little bit awkward for me. I hope it's okay for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Hopefully there's a chance I can invite you back again as a return guest. Well, it depends on the topic, but I appreciate you. Hopefully you don't just run in the opposite direction when you see me again next time. Say, oh my god, it's that guy! Run! He's gonna drag me on that show again.
Well, I am working on a new controller.
Oh.
These motion capture gloves.
Ah.
I'm turning those into a controller.
That sounds fun.
And the plan is to play entirely with ninja signs.
Oh god. That would be interesting though. But how much hand crank are you willing to get for that?
Kakashi ain't got nothing on me.
You hear it from here. But yeah, Yarny, thank you for coming up. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. That was eye-opening for me.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. And that would be the Hangout show for this week. Appreciate everybody else. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend and the rest of the holiday, if you're Thanksgiving holiday if you're in America. If you're in Canada, have a good weekend. And yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供